3,933 days since the last meeting, November 25th, 2011. But who's counting? We are, because the backyard brawl is back and the Steel City is ready. And I assure you, we are as well. Happy to have you with us for College Football Live. Sam Acho, Wendy Nix, David Pollack, who, as you can see, has already made his way to Pittsburgh. And so, David, I will start with you in terms of where this game ranks among college football rivalries.
This question is always interesting to me because it's where you grew up. It's where you were born. It's what you experienced. Like, if you're here, Wendy, I'm just telling you, they have songs that are made, like West Virginia fans will blow your mind because they use words that I cannot use on television while they're explaining their love, their absolute love for Pitt. So it's awesome. We've had an experience with these fans already, and it's been really, really fun. So this is a great rivalry. This is what we lose, Salcho, with when you have daggum realignment and you move people that used to be rivals. Like, we miss these kind of moments, those pieces from Gene. I wish we could find a way to keep the integrity of these throughout college football because they're fun.
Yeah, these are so much fun. You talked about it like this. The last time this game was played was 2011, and the reason it hadn't been played, it was played from 1942 every single year to 2011, and all of a sudden conference realignment started, and now all of a sudden this game hadn't been played. And so I love your answer, Pollack, as far as like where you grew up matters. These teams are 70 miles away from each other. It's an hour drive. They both got recruited by the same schools. Like, they don't like each other at all, and this is what we're going to miss when it comes to realignment. But thankfully we get it. Week 1 tonight, 7 p.m.
Not one bit. There is no love lost. 75% of that fan base, by the way, tonight expected to be from West Virginia. Go figure. David, but we'll talk about this Pittsburgh offense. A lot of changes. Pickett goes on to the NFL. Addison transfers. You have a new OC. What do you expect the 22 version of this Panther offense to look like?
Well, and I think the key thing next, after all those points, Wendy, is Keaton Slovis. You bring in a guy that played 27 games at USC, that has some experience, that likes to throw the football all the yard. So I kind of expect him, to replace this guy and be successful. I think the offense is set up to be a more passing offense like you've seen in the past. But it's definitely going to be an offense that I wonder how much they'll be able to run the football. Salcho, the thing that bothered me last year about Pitt was their lack of commitment. Now I thought that Kenny Pickett would pick his spots and he would run. Slovis, I don't think, is that kind of guy. So I wonder how much this offense can run the football. That will determine how great of a year Pitt can have.
No, I completely agree with that. What I'm excited about Pitt, at least when I watched them last year, we were all excited about Kenny Pickett and what he can do and Whipple and the offense, all the things. But then you turn on the film, you start looking at their defense. They have some dudes on defense. Kalijah Cansey, number 8. If you literally blink, he's in the backfield. He is a game record. Another dude, Habakkuk Baldonado. He had 9 sacks last year, and he's still learning the position. Servassier Dennis, that dude right there who had the interception against Clemson. This is a game-wrecking defense. They were 6th in college football in run defense, number 1. But number 2, they were 2nd in sacks. They had 54 sacks last year, and they averaged 4 a game. So, yes, I'm excited about these quarterbacks, right? But JT Daniels, who's been sacked 38 times in his career, he's going to be looking left and right because those dogs are hunting.
I'm just so excited and proud of you, Salcho, that you got all those names right. For goodness sake, week 1 to spit those 3 defenders out like that off the tongue?
Dude,
kudos, brother.
I appreciate it, brother.
If he didn't say it, Sam, I was going to say the same thing. That was mid-season form. He landed that triple axel.
I got
like
7, 8, and 87.
They're good.
I did a breakdown on these guys last year. That's how good they were. I'm not, no joke. I was like watching film, and I started like looking. I'm like, these dudes are amazing. And I started looking at their names. Let me make sure I'm pronouncing these right, because I'm going to need to remember these come this season and come NFL, because these guys can ball.
All right, I'm going to ask you about somebody else who we need to ball. We're looking for it. JT Daniels, Sam, the 3rd school in his collegiate career. Is this where he finally settles in and finds success?
I think it is. I really do. When people say, man, JT Daniels, 3 schools in 4 years, all this kind of stuff, he's been injured. That's kind of what happens. He fights, he gets a starting spot like he did back at USC with Keaton Slovis. He won the starting spot, then he got hurt in week 1. Remember last year, he started against Clemson for Georgia. That game that Georgia beat Clemson in week 1, he was the starting quarterback, but then he had an injury. And so it's been a bit of bad luck for JT Daniels, but obviously I think he was a 5-star recruit, one of the best quarterbacks coming out of the country a few years ago. If he can stay healthy, which I think he can, he's returning all 5 starters on the offensive line. I mean, I'm excited for this year for JT Daniels.
You're on point. He's going to have a great year. And first of all, he was 7-0 at Georgia. 15 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, like 89 QBR. Like, those are really, really good numbers. You put him with his brain. He's brilliant, by the way. He's absolutely brilliant, meticulous the way he studies. In an air raid offense, it doesn't have to be about his lack of mobility that he doesn't have. He's going to catch the football, get it out of his hands, make a lot of plays, put up big numbers. I think JT Daniels will have a great season this year.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.